What's up everybody, Demon back. Welcome to a brand new video, and I'm going to apologize in advance for two things, alright? So number one, I apologize for any background noise that you may hear throughout this video. There's a birthday party going on at my house, and I'm up here making videos, so if you guys hear any noise, it's just there's a lot of people downstairs hanging out. There's nothing I can do about that. The second thing I want to apologize for is the fact that next video will be an old video. It will be one that I never uploaded, but it is a news update. It's just outdated news if you want to go that route. I mean, we've never covered the news on the channel before, so technically I've never talked about it on the channel before, but it is old news. Like, there is updates to that news. At one point I talk about the SHMA Monster Planet Godzilla, and I talk about how we don't really know what he looks like. There's just the first promotional pictures of him. There's one point when I'm talking about City Shrouded in Shadow, and I completely don't talk about the new announced levels of Mothra and Ultraman because those weren't announced at the time I made the video, so I apologize for that, but whatever, it's fine. At least it's an upload. So starting this one off, I want to show off some amazing art. So the art comes from people like Matt Frank, King Gojira 0679 on Instagram, Strauss Spirit, and Godzilla Plicky on Instagram. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's just some really good art. The first art is, cool pictures of Godzilla drawn by Matt Frank. Someone did a nice version of that Matt Frank drawing. There's a really cool one of a Godzilla sketch. There's another really cool Godzilla sketch from Monster Planet. There's this really awesome picture of Godzilla silhouetted in the sun from Monster Planet. Then there's this awesome picture. I don't know how long it must have taken to make this, but man, it looks really good. It's just Godzilla with himself in the background. It just looks really, really good. If this is how the design is presented in Monster Planet, it is going to be a great movie. And then, this isn't technically art or whatever, but it is kind of, because it's like fan collage that someone made. I think this might have been Louis Duran who made this, of Godzilla 2014, Shin Godzilla, and Godzilla Monster Planet Godzilla. So the next bit of art or stuff that I'm gonna show off in this video it has to do with the death of Haru Nakajima. I made a whole video, a dedication video for him when he died, so I'm not really gonna talk too much about his death in this video, but I guess if I haven't covered it in a news update yet, here's the news version of it, is that Haru Nakajima passed away. And in tribute, people like Gareth Edwards, Matt Frank, Matthew Spencer, and Michael Dougherty all had tributes for the amazing suit actor when he passed away. The cool thing about Michael Dougherty's is that his is an on-set tribute, which is awesome. Also, at Nakajima's funeral, there was a load of fan art featured at his funeral. There was a load of fan art and fan pictures with him. I think we'll maybe talk about that in a later video. I don't totally know, but we might. But yeah, there was a whole tribute for the fans at the funeral as well. Obviously, his family knows that he touched a lot of people's hearts with his performance. And then I also found this really cool picture of Haru Nakajima talking about Godzilla, which is awesome. So now, going through the toy news as fast as I can, there's a new wave of Bandai 3.5 figures coming out. That's 3.5 inch. We talked about this a little bit last video. That's a Godzilla Monster Planet, Shin Godzilla, Kamata-kun, Kiryu, which, oh man, I really don't like these 3.5s. They look really dopey, and Hedorah. For their standard 6-inch line, we have a whole bunch of new pictures of the Godzilla Monster Planet normal design. He looks really good. I think he is a little bit unproportional, and that's one thing. I think the toys do a bad job of showing off his real design because he looks kind of dumb, and I really don't think they're going to show him off that way in the movie, but he looks kind of silly with these Bandai toys. There's of course the theater exclusives as well, which is the complete blue ones, and then like I said, just the standard 3.5 inch, and these also come with a Selvum as well. Now I want to show off this one from Louis Duran, which is a cool idea. We might do a whole video talking about that kind of idea, not talking about his theory directly, but talking about that kind of idea of Godzilla from Monster Planet, representing all of the different forces of nature, that being water, fire, earth, and wind. Of course, we know he is, representative of, he came from plant life in this movie, so he will have something to do with Earth itself in this movie, which will be a really cool thing that they could toy around with. Instead of just being a force of nature, now he is nature, which is awesome. Also, Louis Duran made a cool comparison of all the new Bandai Godzillas that have come out since 2014, 2016, and 2017. We also have some pictures of the background, or, you know, you can see the box of the new Monster Planet Godzilla in the background of these pictures, which is, you know, if you're into the boxes, if you keep the boxes, then I don't really know if you like them or don't. I've heard some people who like them, some people who don't. I'm personally indifferent on them. But like I mentioned, there is a new Selvum or Servum figure coming out, which is going to be cool. I'm not sure what the scale on him is, but he is smaller than the 6-inch Bandai Godzilla figure. I think he'll be around probably 3.5 inches in length. For the 12-inch figure, we have some good looks at the 12-inch Godzilla. This one looks, I think, a lot better than the 6-inch even. I don't really like the way his tail's bent. I think it looks a little weird, but of course they always do that when they have these really big 12-inch figures. They do that with Shin Godzilla, Final Wars Godzilla. They always do that where they crunch their tail together to get them to fit into a box. You know, it's whatever. I don't really, I'm not going to get him. I'm getting the MonsterArts one, and that's that. There will be a 12-inch figure, and it looks a lot better than the other ones. So Banpresto is doing another lottery for their Godzilla figures. They did this with Shin Godzilla as well, and now there's a Banpresto lottery for the Godzilla from Monster Planet. This one looks really good. Of course, I've talked about this in the past on the channel loads of times. Banpresto kills it with theirs. It's just that there's no articulation, so I don't necessarily collect them. However, I don't want to get into this too much, but I do kind of prefer the Banpresto versions of these characters more than I prefer the X+, and I don't really want to talk too much about that because I know it's going to make some people upset, and I don't really want to make anyone upset when, technically speaking, I don't own either Banpresto or X+ yet. I don't own any of either, so I can't really judge them like that. Blowing through the SHMA news, there's just loads of new promotional pictures for the SHMA Godzilla from Monster Planet. We have sample pictures, we have pictures of him in a magazine, we have some pictures showing off different poses he can do, which is cool. You know, he looks like he can do a lot, which is good. I really like this design, and I think the figure looks really good. I just don't like the paint. Now, when you look at the pictures that Louis Duran put together, you can see their Godzilla 2014, which a lot of people really hated. I haven't gotten it, but I think it looks good. The Shin Godzilla, which a lot of people hated, I did get, and I think it looks really good. The Godzilla Monster Planet design, which a lot of people hate, and I think it looks pretty good. So if you're sensing a trend, it's just that people don't necessarily like SHMA anymore, and I still do. However, there is just kind of a dull paint job with this guy. He looks very green in Lewis's picture, that's for sure. Now, showing off the display images, different display images. This was him, like, in person on display. There's cool pictures of him in stands, and just all sorts of different designs. Now, the face of the new sculpt doesn't look good, but it is movie accurate, so I can't like bag on it. I think he looks kind of weird. There's loads of memes about him being like he's an old man ready to tell you a bad dad joke. He doesn't look good in the face. The face looks weird. The eyes are smushed in there. It looks weird. It's movie accurate, so I'm not gonna bag on it. I'm just gonna say, you know, the figure is doing a great job representing what's seen in the movie. Now, getting into the official promotional photos for this Godzilla Monster Planet SHMA figure, looks really good. I think, like I said, I think he looks like he can do a lot of cool poses. I think the tail looks really nice. It doesn't look too long like the other ones have been. 2014 has a really long tail. This guy's is probably in line with his. It's not as long as Shin Godzilla's tail. He does look a little unproportional with this figure, but again, that is kind of movie accurate. It's just, I don't think he's going to be shown that way in the movie. I think although he will be that unproportional in the movie, they will probably film him from different angles so that he won't be shown off that weird. But overall, I really am looking forward to getting mine. Now, really quickly, we'll talk about some of this other figure news so I can just get it through really quick. Someone made a really cool, I don't know what this is. It's a Gigantus. I don't know if it's like a Godzilla 1954 custom. It looks to me like it's a custom between the 1954 and the 1964 Godzillas from SHMA. Looks like a nice custom one of those that he turned into a Gigantus figure, which is sweet. That movie's terrible, in my opinion, but it is cool to see the version of that represented in figure form. There's a new Mothra set coming out, not by SHMA, but by another distributor that's kind of obscure. I don't know the name, honestly, I'm sorry about that. There's a new Godzilla and Destroyah figures coming out for Godzilla vs Destroyah from Bandai Japan. This is really cool. You can see they do look really nice. They don't totally look like the original sculpts of these guys either, which is cool. So it looks like they're updating the sculpt, which is, if you're into collecting these guys, really good for you, so you're not getting the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to get either of these guys. I just personally have no interest in Bandai figures anymore. I'm just collecting SHMA from now on. And maybe I'll start, you know, picking up the Banpresto, and potentially the X Plus. Now, Higuchi Shinji, or Shinji Higuchi, director of Shin Godzilla, did post this picture on his Instagram recently of all the different Godzilla designs, not all of them necessarily, but a lot of the different Godzilla designs represented in statue form, and he just posted that. So he's showing more and more interest in Godzilla, which is good. Obviously, if he directed the movie, he has passion for the character. Great to see. But I will be talking about this in a later video of what a lot of what's going on his Instagram might mean. He's hanging out with the army a whole bunch, and this might be potential for him setting up in the works for a Shin Godzilla 2. Of course, Shin Godzilla had a lot of military involvement, a lot of military support. They got a whole bunch of military members to like hang out and film stuff with them, and they even gave them a special shout out in the credits. They had a whole like featurette for the military. So it is clearly he's hung out with the military for that movie. Maybe he's hanging out with the military again for the sequel. And like I said, we'll talk about that more in a future video. Now, SH MonsterArts recently announced a new SpaceGodzilla repaint. Sadly, I haven't been able to get a price. Every time I've gone to the SHMA Articulation Series website, it has been down. So I haven't been able to find a price for this yet, and I haven't been able to order him yet, but he does look really cool. He's coming with the Godzilla Jr., and he has new green like beams that come on his spines, which is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this guy. I've never had a SpaceGodzilla figure. Well, I've had the Bandai version, but I've never had a good SpaceGodzilla figure before. I've certainly never had a little Godzilla figure before, so this will be really cool if I'm able to get this, if it's within a reasonable price range. I'm really excited for it. And this is a repaint figure, a reissue that a lot of people have really been looking forward to, and I've seen so little backlash about this recently. I've just seen a lot of support being like, finally, they're picking figures that we want again. They're picking figures that we want to see re-released. Yes, new Showa figures would be cool, but I don't see a lot of complaining that they are doing these reissues anymore. I forgot to mention this, really quickly want to mention NECA's take on the Monster Planet design, and that is nothing. They don't have the rights to it, which sucks, but hopefully they might be able to get it. Although I didn't think their Shin Godzilla was good, and I think their Godzilla 1985 sucked, I do think they killed it with their 1954 and 2014 Godzillas, so I am looking forward to seeing if they are able to produce a good Monster Planet design. I still haven't gotten Burning Godzilla, so I can't talk about him. The last new figure I want to talk about is the new SH MonsterArts Mechagodzilla, which, oh my god, I ordered him. I'm so excited. He looks crazy cool. It's Mechagodzilla 1974, my favorite Mechagodzilla design. Technically, I like the 75 design better because it's a little bit more dirty and banged up, but this one's the same design. It looks really cool. It's just not dirty. Looks awesome. He has a nice chest beam with him. I wish he had the rainbow eyes, but they don't have the rainbow eye beam, sadly. You can turn him into a flying pose, and then he's got all sorts of crazy accessories like finger missiles. I don't think toe missiles, but he's got all sorts of cool stuff. He has full head rotation. He can do so much awesome stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting this guy. Mechagodzilla is of course one of my favorites, and I love the fact that you can remove his head and have that little underneath head from Terror of Mechagodzilla on the inside. There's tons of poses of him too. Looks really cool. I'm so excited for it, and he wasn't that expensive. He was just over $100, so he wasn't even that expensive. So I'm really looking forward to this, like I keep saying. I think this one will be die cast instead of plastic, which is going to be really, really nice. I have the Mogera, and it has that die cast, so it gives it a very metallic, real feel to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they do that with Mechagodzilla. I'm sure they will, because this guy looks like he's going to be assembled the same way as the Mogera, but I don't know. I've never gotten another mech from SHMA, so I can't speak on that front. And that's all the figure news, so now getting into the final bits of news, there was a full trailer released for Godzilla Monster Planet. I did a reaction for it on the channel like a month ago. I am really late on this news, but like I said last video, I will be doing, or last news update I guess, I will be doing news catch-up for the next long while, just to try and get caught up on everything I've missed, and then I'll start covering new stuff again. So there was a full trailer release for Godzilla Monster Planet, loads of cool shots of Godzilla in it. We really get to see how big he is. We don't totally know how huge he is, but we know he's massive. We know that there's going to be a lot of exciting action in it, and I'm really, really excited for this movie. There was also a TV spot put out with it that a lot of people didn't cover, but it is the same general thing. It's just an action version of the full trailer. In terms of official things that I've missed, there is the new Godzilla Monster Planet poster that's been released, which I think looks absolutely amazing. Godzilla's in the background. You can see he's plant life, so his dorsal fins look like leaves, and then all our main characters are up front. I really think this one looks good. And then also there's a new Godzilla poster that came out. Is this one really a poster? This one's more like wallpaper, like computer screen wallpaper. It's my background screen on my computer. This is just Godzilla standing, you're looking up at him in the clouds. You know, he's got that dopey face, but I don't totally mind that. It just looks kind of crocodile alligator style. Looks a little weird. His eyes are crunched, but you can't really see how crunched they are in the picture. I really like the way that his muscles are vines because, you know, he is spawned from semi-plant DNA from what we can tell, from what we know of, and then he's being held together by his EMP. So it is really a cool idea that, you know, all these muscles on him are actually vines and that he's just like this super powerful, I don't know, like plant life, I guess. I'm not sure how much they'll play that up in the movie. I don't know if it'll be like he's semi-plant, semi-animal, that kind of thing, or just he looks like plant, but he is animal. I'm not sure, but I really like the way that design-wise, he looks like a giant vine. And that's everything we're going to cover in this news update, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for like the weird, you know, I really blew through a lot of this news because, like I said, I have a birthday party downstairs and I should probably get back to it. But I wanted to get this video out, and then I do apologize for next video. Gonna be really weird. I have my long hair again, and then it's, you know, it's some outdated news. So thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you guys next time for a Shin Godzilla news updates. That'll be next time, as in next time I'm doing like a new video after this point, because of course, once again, pre-recorded video coming out next time. But the one after that, the next technical one I'll record, will be a Shin Godzilla news update. And you might be like, well, what updates are there with Shin Godzilla? There's some stuff to talk about, so we'll talk about that next video. See you guys next time. Hope you all enjoyed. D-Man, out.